Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another long-awaited Dune Awakening video. If you love a good torture, then you're gonna love this video. Welcome to the Mentat poison build. You may remember me from such videos as the Swordmaster speedrun and the Mentat speedrun. This is not one of those runs. Poison by its own nature is damage over time. A speedrunner's nightmare, if you will. But nevertheless, just like you guys, I enjoy a good torture. Like many of you, I asked myself, does poison work in the deep desert against high-level enemies? And the answer is about to be revealed. I have been meticulously testing this build all week long for the ultimate combination. And what I've concluded is that if you are focusing on a Mentat specific build with poison, the turret is a must. Because of the thick green poison clouds, visibility is sometimes reduced, but the Sentinel turret is unaffected by such limitations. As I've stated, for this to be considered a Mentat class-specific build, I need at least 2 abilities from the class. I have chosen Poison Capsule and the Sentinel turret. That brings us to the official start of wave number 1. At the start of each new wave, the strategy is the same. I've been testing combinations all week long in this lab. I had a few versions that included the poison mine and the shield wall, but in the end it was the turret and the capsule, paired together with the trusty knee charge. So as we progress through the run, I'll explain my strategy and thought process in each scenario. If you're not familiar with this particular lab, it is one of the more challenging ones. They call it the Hidden Garden, and it has multiple waves that are double spawns. You can see here with Spice activated, the health bars of the enemies are already dwindled down from the AoE poison and the turret together. The thought process behind each new wave is work down the melee with melee, AoE the big packs, and headshot the rest. In my previous build videos, I've never worked in firearms. After my last Mentat build video, somebody was a little disappointed that there was no headshot damage included in the build. The focus of this one is headshot damage. Even my weapons are poison based, in the Hallex pick for the melee and the Regis triple shot rifle for the range. And that brings us to the start of wave number 2. At the start of each wave, we poison the pack, drop the turret when it's ready, and knee charge the melee, or parry if need be. Big effort here from the little sentinel working down that shield. Make sure to stay aware of the melee rushing in if you're dealing with these packs. You have the precise parry and the prescient strike at your disposal. If you believe all the melee have been dealt with, we AoE the pack and headshot the rest. If this was a pure melee build, it could be done a lot faster. but we wanted to work in that headshot damage. So we've been lucky to have Spice up all this time, but this is the time in the run when we lose it, and the countdown timer starts. Don't forget that your shields drop when you fire the capsule and when you fire your weapon. If you keep your distance from the flamethrowers, they are almost never an issue for you. The Regis gives you 3 shots per reload. Once the flamethrowers open fire, that's your time to strike. Headshot damage. Even though this wasn't technically a speedrun, I was still keeping time out of curiosity. At 6.5 minutes, we're at the start of wave number 3, and you can see the strat once again. The turret is doing work inside the poison cloud, and I'm getting ready to knee charge the melee. The spice cooldown timer expired right here, and I started to spice up once again. While under the effects of spice, it's fun to watch the health bars dwindle down from the poison and the turret damage. Getting caught here in this corner was one of the errors of the run. I had to regroup and heal up. After running these labs countless times, I developed a skill I like to call hugging the wall. If you are approached by a melee NPC, and have at least one wall to your side, you can funnel any additional enemies where you need them. There are a few examples of hugging the wall during this run. This technique can be applied to any lab. One more thing to note, that I didn't take any poison tolerance passives or techniques, as the poison can't really do enough damage to me. In this clip here, I was testing to see could the triple shot break a shield. And it's really more ideal to wait for them to shoot and then take them out. So the spice countdown timer was ready. We were ready to spice again. That means increased damage output, increased damage mitigation, and the ability to see through walls. You gotta love those built-in wall hacks. It helps us see through that poison. Headshot! So good. So with the turret set up and ready to go, it's time for wave number 4. Poison cloud turret into knee charge. Stops them in their tracks. I did test another version of the build with the poison mine included, but due to the poison capsule being available so often, it wasn't necessary. Unfortunately, poison isn't stackable, so once they're poisoned, that's it. If you would like to move through this a lot faster, then only use the melee weapon. But I think if you're here for a poison build, speed isn't your main concern. Make sure to send off your poison capsules every chance you get. You can see from the enemy health bars that the poison does just enough damage to soften them up. When there's many enemies, just kite around and let the poison do its thing. And make sure to pick off these ranged stragglers every chance you get. If you do have to deal with these guys, try and do it out of line of sight. We will go over the skills and my gear in more detail at the end of the run, but you will notice that I am wearing full Mentat armor. If you were to swap in 1 or 2 heavy pieces, this would become a little easier. But once again, you're here for a poison build, not an easy build. So this is one of those tips from countless speedrun attempts. Get rid of these ranged stragglers every chance you get. They can honestly make or break your run. So here's an example of how to deal with 2 heavies with poison. We gas the area, we drop the turret, and we headshot. I did some very heavy testing with a build that utilized the death from above technique, and I will never be doing that again. Jumping into the air in this game is literally suicide. You'll notice that even the melee NPCs pull out their weapons to fire as soon as your feet leave the ground. Once again, this would be a lot faster if I used the Helix pick, but we're here for the headshots. Easy. Sentinel time. So that brings us to the start of wave number 5. Here we go again. Turret, poison cloud, and sometimes we shoot to bait out the melee. Sucker. Oh, he did. Remember, the knee charge is always there if you get jumped on. Sometimes it's better to instigate the stagger than try and perfectly land the parry. My advice is to not start shooting until all the melee have been dealt with. And remember, during this lab specifically, sometimes that happens twice per round. This build contains poison from the blade, poison from a firearm, and poison from abilities. Here's another one of those examples of clearing the ranged That can be a huge nuisance. The turret can absolutely melt these guys with no shield. So right here I started to spice up once again for the last time this run, and watch the turret take out this guy. Trying to shoot at the flamethrowers while they have the high ground is not a good idea. Try and bait them down onto your level and take them out. If all the ranged have been dealt with, if you keep your distance from the flamethrowers, they're almost irrelevant. That sound brings us to the start of wave number 6, the final round. I must have really upset the melee in the last wave because they were really pissed. They ruined my spice activation. All of their buddies jumped me at once, which is something I've never really seen before. Usually to attract this many you have to run around the entire room and pull them as a pack. But I guess they knew I was recording a video and wanted to put me to the test. As this attack was happening, I was thinking to myself, this is a great way to showcase the AoE poison and the hug the wall technique. They are all taking poison damage this entire time. And you can see here that it eventually takes one of them out. These pillars are a great way to hug the wall and avoid a second incoming attack. If you find yourself constantly running away from packs of melee, this build might be the one for you. You can turn around and poison capsule the whole time they chase you, and they slowly dwindle their health bars down. I decided to wrap around and deal with these guys before approaching the heavy. Headshots only. So there you have it, folks, a 19-minute hidden garden. Using the Mentat poison build, melee ranged hybrid. So let's have a look at the skills that make it all possible. Starting with the Swordmaster, we went with Prescient Strike and Precise Parry. And our first technique slot, Disciplined Breathing. And it's good to have Knee Charge back on the menu. Over to the Bene Gesserit skill tree, we have Manipulate Instability. No need for metabolized poison. Rerouting and overcharge from the planetologist. And of course the star of the show, the Mentat, with our marksman technique in our third slot, the sentinel turret, and the poison capsule. And from the trooper, all we require is the range damage. I am using 5 pieces of the Mentat specific class armor set. That gives me 7% ability cooldown on Mentat abilities. A Mark 5 Holtzman shield, Mark 6 power pack, and of course the Hallex pick and Regis triple shot repeating rifle. I am not gonna lie to you folks, this was a tough one, but I do hope you enjoyed it. It definitely won't be everybody's cup of tea, but it is nice to know it's doable. Let me play the game so you don't have to. All jokes aside, if you did find the video entertaining, informative, or even both, please give it a like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe as we'd love to have you. So just like last week, I'm camped right outside the PvE lab for the week. This allows me to get in as many practice runs as possible. I accidentally poisoned myself while leaving the lab and got this cool clip. I've never died to poison while flying before, but lucky I crash landed right into my base. So if you made it to the true end of the video, thanks once again for being here, and I will definitely see you on the next one.